Last time we did the first canto of the third book, The Pursuit of the Unknowable. The question is, why does one pursue the unknowable, if at all? Ashwapati must be kind of having something specific in him to pursue the unknowable. It is not the unknowable which, in a certain sense, that matters. It is not the unknowable that really matters. Because, after all, it is unknowable. Nothing can be said about it, nothing can be known about it, nothing can be described about it. But that unknowable has something in him which is perhaps the most meaningful thing as far as this creation is concerned. The unknowable has something in him which has a value, in fact, which is the cause of all that is here. Therefore, it is very pertinent to pursue the unknowable. Yes, you are there is a cause behind it. There is somebody there who is doing all these things here, bringing out all these things in the creation, bringing out in manifestation. Now, that someone therefore has a relevance as far as the knowable is concerned. The link between the unknowable and the knowable is that someone. And that someone is the divine power, the divine Shakti, the divine mother, who in a way links up the knowable and the unknowable. And therefore she is one who is of great concern to the seeker soul of Ashwapati. Who is she? What can she do? In what way I can approach her and take my problem to her and present it to her and tell her, look, this is this, do this, do this, do this, do this. So in that sense, the pursuing of the unknowable is actually seeking the divine power to do something as far as this creation is concerned. And therefore, we have here in the next canto, the second canto, the adoration of the Divine Mother. It is she who is to be adored, who is to be worshipped, who is to be invoked, who is to be brought down here into this creation, because it is she who can do something. It is she who can do something. So here now, see the whole logical development, so to say, of Savitri is very, very well structured, one after the other, one after the other. Unknowable, Divine Mother, House of the Spirit, all those things follow in great logical sequence, in a great manner that way. So, this is therefore very pertinent, the adoration of the Divine Mother. That's the second canto of the third book. Now, this canto, just by way of some small statistics, has three sections: section 80, 81, and 82. Section 80 has 22 sentences like this, 22 sentences, and in all 72 lines. Section 80 has 72 lines in 22 sentences. Then next section 81 has 31 sentences and 114 lines, 114. So that is the biggest section in this canto. 31 sentences and 114 lines. And the last section, third section, 82, has just 12 sentences, a dozen sentences, with 35 lines. 35 lines. So the total number of sentences in this canto, all the three sections put together, is 65 sentences and 221 lines. So this is one of the smallest sections, smallest cantos in Savitri. Just 221 lines, 65 sentences. So although it's a very small canto relatively, but perhaps it is a pivotal canto. Pivotal. Everything is kind of hinged upon that. It is that which is really going to work out, whatever has got to work out. So, in that sense, it is really very important, significant canto also. Yes.
You said, if I understood properly, the Divine Mother is a link between unknowable.
Between the unknowable and the knowable. Who comes forward from the unknowable? Who comes forward from the unknowable? The Divine Mother, the Creator. The power of unknowable, it is she who comes here and brings out manifestation. And the first thing which comes into manifestation is Satchidananda. That is knowable, that is not unknowable.
So Satchidananda is a manifestation of the Divine Mother.
Of the Divine Mother. If you like to say, Satchidananda is the first child of the Divine Mother. And then things follow from that point onward. The multiplicity, etc., that begins from that onward. So that is how you could see the connection of the Divine Mother in the context of Ashwapati's pursuing the unknowable. There is something in him which tells, although that is unknowable, paratpara, as you said last time, which cannot be defined, which cannot be grasped, which cannot be understood at all, yet there is something in him, in that paratpara, by which this creation comes into existence. And that something is because of the Shakti of the Paratpara, of the Divine Mother. You call it Shakti, you call it Mother, whatever. I mean, they are manifestations of the same thing, different depending upon the context, you see, basically. She is the creatrix, the creator of the soul creation, you see. That is why he calls it Mother. You can call it Adya Shakti also if you like. Absolutely supreme, yeah. Paratpara Shakti. I would say, not even Parashakti, Paratpara Shakti. Parashakti could be the Shakti of Satchidananda. She is Paratpara, of the Absolute. And it is she who brings out into manifestation this thing. Now, actually, now that we are talking about this thing, let us read something significant. 15.7. Now, this is a part of the secret knowledge which Ashwapati is gaining as it goes more and more into the higher levels of consciousness. This one. These 4-5 sentences will categorize in a certain sense about what we are doing about the unknowable, the pursuit to the unknowable. It is connected with that. The absolute, the perfect, the alone. He is complete by himself. He is absolute, perfect, the alone. Has called out of the silence. He is mute force. She is there in him, the Shakti. She is silent. She has not come into action. It is he who summons her out, the Shakti. He summons her up, the Shakti. Has called out of the silence his mute force, where she lay in the featureless and formless hush. Guarding from time by her immobile sleep the ineffable fusions of the solitude. He is alone, absolute, quiet solitude. It is she who calls him out. Guarding from time by her immobile sleep, she is asleep there. And it is he who is summoning her up, calling her up. The ineffable fusions of his solitude, the absolute, the perfect, the alone has entered with a silence into space. That is the first moment. First moment is he is summoning her up. From his own state of absoluteness, he is summoning up the Shakti. He has called her up. Come, get up, rise, start work. And then what does she do? The absolute, the perfect, the alone, has entered with his silence into space. It is because of her now he is entering into space and time and activity. Because of her. Into space. He has fashioned his countless persons of one self. He is now become the creator because of her. He lives in all who lived in his vast alone. Until now he was living alone in his breath, in his vast. But now she has come and this has started happening. Space is himself and time is only he. This has happened because he has summoned her up for activity. The absolute, the perfect, the immune. Now, see, the creation is there, space is there, time is there, beings are there, yet he remains immune. He is not affected by anything. He is still absolute, perfect, and immune in spite of this creation. This is very crucial. He is not affected by this in at all, you see. One who is in us as our secret self, our mask of imperfection has assumed. So he has taken up now imperfection, ignorance, all the travail of space and time, and he is working out. Because he has called out his Shakti, and she is now working out his. Our mask of imperfection assumed, he has made his tenement of flesh his own because of her. His image in the human measure cast. So he has cast his own image in the form of a mental being. Then that to his divine measure we might rise. Why he has done that? Because that way we might climb up and rise to our divine height. Then in a figure of divinity, the Maker shall recast us and impose a plan of Godhead on the mortal's mold. He has come down. Why? He wants all of you to become immortal. Immortal. Lifting our finite minds to His infinite, touching the moment with eternity. So even time shall now be an aspect, an expression of eternity. This transfiguration is us due to heaven. Yes, this must happen. It has to happen. It is inescapable in a way. A mutual debt binds man to the Supreme. So you are as much obliged as he to you, you see. His nature we must put on as he put ours. That is the whole purpose, put ours. We are sons of God and must be even as he. His human portion, we must grow divine. This whole purpose, his human portion, we must grow divine. Our life is a paradox with God for key. That is the clinching sentence. See, our life is a paradox. We have got ignorance, we are in death, all this mortality and all that thing. Yet that is not all. The paradox of our being opposite to that is in Him only. It is He who is working out. His human portion, we must grow divine. That is the key. That is the key. You see. Now, so basically you have here already the definition of the unknowable. He was alone, alone, alone. Then suddenly he woke up one day and then decided to do something. And in order to do something, he summons up his Shakti. Come on, get up now, start working. And she comes into operation. And then all these things follow. All these things follow, you see. So that is the basis of this unknowable pursuit. So this idea, this knowledge, Ashwapati has already. That is why he is approaching the unknowable. Because it is the unknowable, she is there and she must be summoned. She must be brought out into operation. She must become active here. And therefore, he is pursuing the unknowable.